Okay, part 5 of our quiz review video series. Got to come up with the equations given 2 points. So we're trying to get this equation here. But first, we need to figure out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is if we can. Well, since this coordinate starts with a 0, that means this is the value of the y-intercept. So you know that b equals -2. That's nice. What we don't know, though, is the slope. And we're going to use the slope equation to help us out. So you might want to write that down. It's an important equation for us. And go ahead and label each point right here. x1, y1, x2, y2. Find the slope, plug it in for b and for m in the equation. That's one way of doing this. Another way is we could definitely just plug in x and y into slope-intercept form, right? And the b. And we could solve for slope that way. There's a lot of ways of doing this. Here, we're just going to plug in the slope formula. So -5 minus the -2, and 2 minus 0. Double negative here becomes positive, positive, and your slope is -3/2. So now you have both pieces to make your equation. Y equals -3/2 times x minus 2. Jump over to number 20 with me, and let's go ahead and find the slope and y-intercept here. Neither point is the y-intercept. So let's start with the slope. Label those points. Make it easy on yourself. Write down the slope equation. And now plug each one of these where they belong in the slope equation. Here we go. -2, take away 3, over, let's do the x values now. -3, take away 2. We end up with a -5 over a -5. And that equals just 1, or 1 over 1. So now you have m. That's what this means, right? That's your m variable. But we don't know what the b variable is in slope-intercept form. Take a look, though. You have 2 coordinates. Those coordinates are x and y values, right? So we have a number for x, for m, and for y, but we don't know what b is. So let's plug in what we know. I'm going to use the first set of coordinates, but you could use the second set if you wanted. So that's going to give us 3 equals 1 times 2 plus b, or 3 equals 2 plus b. Take away 2, and b equals 1. So now you've got your slope, your y-intercept, and that's enough to write your equation. 1x plus 1, or just x plus 1. All right, had to work a little harder in that one because we didn't have the y-intercept. But remember, use your slope equation and plug in the pieces you know and solve for what you need. Let's go to 21. All right, in 21, what do we have here? We don't have the y-intercept and we don't have the slope. That's okay. Let's write down what we know. We've got a couple coordinates, so let's find the slope. -1 minus a -2. 2 minus 1. Add 2 negatives in a row to get +1 over 1. Another slope of 1. Plug in a coordinate into slope-intercept form. So let's put the -2 in for y, 1 for m, and 1 for x, and solve for b. b is -3. So there's your slope. There's your y-intercept. Write your equation. Y equals 1x minus 3, which is y equals x minus 3. Okay, one more. And in this one, you're gifted the y-intercept. There it is. b equals 2 since you're starting with a 0. So all you need is the slope. So using the slope formula, x1, y1, x2, y2, go ahead and plug in what you know. 4 minus 2 over -2 minus 0. That's 2 over -2, or -1 is your slope. Write down in slope-intercept form, -1 times x plus 2, or just y equals -x plus 2. Great job. There's your 4 equations. Next up are 2-story problems, and then we're done.